This is my bedroom window. It has one of the world's least exciting views. We're going to turn around. See this building here? That's what I see. And I see the cars. People don't generally walk on this street. Nothing really happens on this street. The light doesn't even change all that much because it's a narrow street. This is my car. And we're getting in. We're hooked. Oh, say hi, James.
Hi, James.
That's my husband. We are gonna hook this up here. La la la. We're hooking this up. Okay. We're straightening out. We're gonna go for a ride. Because there is nothing much interesting happening out my bedroom window. We're gonna explore a little bit more. Okay. So, we're also going to try to avoid breaking any traffic laws while we do this. So, wish us luck. Oh, let's plug in the cord. La la la. Sorry. Okay.
Make some hold music.
Okay, so now we're going down my block. We're stopping because there's a traffic sign. And we're coming over here. This is the best part of my neighborhood, is seeing this view. Across the river is Staten Island. And this is the Raritan Bay. Okay. There's a bridge up there. That is the Outer Bridge Crossing. It connects New Jersey with Staten Island. It is a very heavily trafficked bridge. And right underneath, you'll notice we've got some white petroleum tanks. So we're going to take a ride, and James is going to do some reading about them. We've not really investigated them before, but we're going to do that now. So we're in the parking lot by our apartment, and you can see the tanks. And if you look really close, you can see a tanker that's getting fueled there. And we see these tanks every day, but we really don't think about them much.
No, not much.
You know, they're just there, and I haven't really thought. It's like, oh, there's gas or something there. I don't know what's there. Which is kind of a really silly position to have, but so I've started looking and doing some research, and James is going to read you about the research that I've been doing.
Okay. Chevron Corporation acquired the Perth Amboy Refinery in 1945. In 1983, the refinery stopped production of gasoline and heating oil and concentrated on asphalt refining. A spill occurred in 2016 that resulted in approximately 31,000 gallons of oil released. Approximately 119,448 gallons of oil-water mixture were recovered and stored. Approximately 477,234 pounds of oil, absorbents, and other contaminated solids were removed during the cleanup. At the end of 2008, the refinery had an asphalt refining capacity of 80,000 barrels.
Okay. And here, this is a brownfield, which is an EPA, Environmental Protection Agency site that is cleanup. This used to be all industrial, and now it is homes.
In 2012, the refinery was sold to Buckeye Partners for $260 million. Buckeye planned to again produce multiple petroleum products at the site. In November, the first known shipments of crude oil were exported through the Buckeye Partners terminal here in Perth Amboy. Though the exports originated from North Dakota's Bakken Shale region, Reuters reported that Buckeye is preparing to accept trainloads of heavy crude from Western Canada. For several years, millions of gallons of crude oil a week have traveled New Jersey's rail network on their way to Northeast refineries. Now, terminal in Seawarren, New Jersey. It is the largest rail-served ethanol terminal in the New York Harbor area. The terminal is strategically located to serve the New York and Connecticut markets for ethanol. The facility, which replaces Motiva's 23-car-per-day terminal, is capable of unloading 40 rail cars per day. The expansion more than doubled the terminal's capacity from 1 million gallons per day to more than 2 million. Ethanol is increasingly being used as a cost-effective octane enhancer for gasoline and as a clean-burning replacement for MTBE, which is methyl tertiary butyl ether. A recent ban on MTBE by New York and Connecticut has made ethanol an especially critical commodity in the region. Norfolk Southern Corporation is one of the nation's premier transportation companies. Its Norfolk Southern Railway subsidiary operates 21,500 route miles in 22 states, the District of Columbia, and Ontario, Canada, serving every major container port in the eastern United States and providing superior connections to Western rail carriers. NS operates the most extensive intermodal network in the East and is North America's largest rail carrier of automotive parts and finished vehicles. Headquartered in Houston, Texas, Motiva Enterprises is a refining and marketing joint venture owned by affiliates of Shell and Saudi Aramco. Motiva's marketing operations support a network of nearly 11,000 Shell and Texaco branded gasoline stations in the eastern and southern United States. Company assets include 3 refineries located in Norco, Louisiana, Convent, Louisiana, and Port Arthur, Texas, capable of refining approximately 705,000 barrels per day, and ownership or partial interests in 47 product terminals. In November 6, 2012, the Sandy aftermath, huge oil spill threatened Staten Island. On Sunday, a large oil spill continued to threaten the shores of New York and New Jersey after cleanup crews were unable to contain thousands of gallons of fuel that spilled from diesel terminals due to Hurricane Sandy. So far, as much as 30,000 gallons of oil may have escaped Motiva's oil terminals and poured into the Arthur Kill motorway. The bridge...
There are houses right across the street from the storage facility.
About how far would you say?
Maybe, probably about 50 to 100 feet from a tank. You've got families living.
So far, as much as 300,000 gallons of oil may have escaped from Motiva's oil terminals and poured into the Arthur Kill motorway. The bridge separates New Jersey from New York's Staten Island. Initially, over 50,000 gallons of diesel fuel spilled hours after Sandy. Last week, Motiva made the following announcement on the company's website. Motiva's terminals in New Jersey and New York have experienced flooding due to the storm surge, as well as loss of power and wind impacts. The safety of the community and responders is Motiva's primary concern in the wake of Hurricane Sandy. Safety assessments and plans have been conducted and developed and are being implemented. The company is coordinated with local agencies in order to conduct a thorough inspection and damage assessment of its petroleum terminals in Seawarren, New Jersey. 4 diesel oil storage tanks were damaged at the Seawarren terminal. Motiva's early estimate of the diesel released off-site is 6,600 barrels. The company's press release added, initial response actions were successful to stop the flow of diesel from the secondary containment area into Woodbridge Creek proper, and water is being recovered by vacuum trucks from the secondary containment area and pumped into a separate on-site storage tank. About 130 responders are taking part in the cleanup effort. The company is coordinating their response activities with the United States Coast Guard, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and Middlesex County officials. November 11th, 2012. Greenpeace photo update. 336,000 gallon diesel spill pollutes waterways after Hurricane Sandy. A 336,000 gallon diesel spill from the Motiva Enterprises terminal at Seawarren, New Jersey, polluted streams and flowed into the Arthur Kill waterway between Staten Island, New York, and New Jersey. At least 2 tanks at the facility, a joint venture of Royal Dutch Shell and Saudi Aramco, were damaged in Hurricane Sandy and leaked into the Woodbridge Creek. The facility has a capacity of 5 million gallons of refined petroleum products, and the United States Coast Guard assisted the cleanup and recovery. The refinery processes jet fuel, fuel oil, gasoline, diesel, and ethanol.
Thank you for reading that for us, James.
You're welcome.
So we're on our way back home now. Did you know all this was going on so close to our home?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
I knew the tanks were there, but I had no idea of the volume.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not enough to look at them and just say, oh, it's big. There's much more volume than I would have imagined. I'm not sure a layperson could actually look at something like that and have a realistic idea of just what the capacity for these things is.
Yeah, I also didn't know about the leaks, around Hurricane Sandy and other ones.
Yeah, it creates an interesting perspective on, well, a bunch of things. I mean, we moved here from our old city, Patterson. Part of the reason for it is that we were looking for increased safety.
We were. Patterson is the 3rd largest city in New Jersey, and I think like the 3rd most densely populated city in the U.S. And there's a lot of problems with gang violence and shootings.
Yeah, violent crime is a serious issue in Patterson.
It wasn't safe for me to go out by myself at night there.
And the longer we lived there, though, it seemed as though the tighter the circle became. We began hearing more and more reports from friends and neighbors about encounters they had with violent crime of one sort.
And 2 people were shot in our parking lot, and
another bodega owner right around the corner from us was shot to death in a robbery attempt.
And the bodega across the street with the guy working there was attacked with a machete.
I'd forgotten about that.
And at the bar across the street, someone was stabbed to death, and they crawled from the bar to the front of our house.
We could do this all day.
Yeah.
But the point is, we came here, in pursuit of. We are much safer from gang violence. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any of that here. Violent crime is not a big issue in Perth Amboy.
No, we've lived here for over a year. I've only heard of one murder, and it was a domestic violence situation.
never catch me. But on the other hand, safety is compromised from an entirely different direction, one that we never thought about. We've driven past those tanks a million times.
And we really never paid much mind to them at all.
Yeah, except... go ahead, please.
Oh, no, and the beauty... Well, not on this street particularly. But the beauty of the Arthur Kill, the Raritan Bay, the water outside our house really makes us happy. And we know that that it's used for shipping oil, because we see giant oil tankers all the time, and they're escorted by these impossibly small and very cute little tugboats. But we really didn't think about, what are they actually carrying? Where's it going? And before I started doing the research for this, I assumed that those tanks just serviced the
like the immediate area?
Well, no, that just serviced the boats, the ships.
Okay, yeah.
I had no idea about the rail or the implications thereof. Yeah, there's a building that we live in, and we're gonna pull up by the water and sit and finish having this conversation. We have a little tiny stoop. It's not really a porch, but we have a little table on, and when it's nice, we sit there and we have our dinner sometimes, because the view is beautiful here, and we love it so much. You've probably seen me post pictures on Facebook. I'm going to take you and show you some more of the water, and we can talk while we're doing that. We're not going to go really far, but yeah, so here's our parking lot. We're in, and there are the tanks and the bridge, and about a mile. And the other place is about another mile after that. So that's within 2 miles, we have these two major facilities. I gotta put the window down. There's not much wind noise, but I want you to be able to see what we're doing, and to be able to hear us too. So this is a building that was a rental office for the condos and apartments that we live in. It got damaged by Hurricane Sandy and has been vacant since. If you look inside it, you can see a tree growing there. And here we have, it's a ferry slip, but we don't have a ferry anymore because of the bridge. So we have a little ferry museum, and on full moons in the summer, what's really lovely is we have concerts there. And it's my favorite thing to go there. Is that a... I'm trying to see if that's a ship there. And we've got a marina. And someday I hope to have a boat here.
No.
My husband says no.
No.
It's not in the cards right now anyway. But a gal can dream. Here. Wait, I'm in an illegal spot, so I'm not going to park here. La la la. But you see how lovely it is here. And got more boats. And we can park here. I don't know, should we go out on the pier?
Yeah, we can. I don't know how ambient noise and wind are gonna affect our recording.
I don't either, but you know, if you can't hear us, you heard us a lot anyway.
God knows.
Yeah, sorry about all the reading, James.
I don't mind doing it. I just don't know if anybody's eyes stayed open while listening to it.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, and I'm trying to do this all in one fell swoop rather than cutting because A, I'm not a video editing person, and B, I think it's important to give you a sense of distance. So, oh, could you grab my hat, my love? Okay, thank you. So while James is getting out of the car and getting my hat, we'll go look at boats. What? Don't worry about it. See, so isn't this a cool little pier? We've had seals come here, which is, you know, pretty amazing. They like climb up and sun themselves. I don't know how they do that. And here we have another boat. And you can see how pretty this is and what the potential for disaster is, because you can see right down there all the tanks. Oh, there's James. Say hi, James. My hero with my hat.
On the ground, beside your door.
Oh, can you hold this for a second? Okay. Oops, I almost lost my glasses. That would be bad. Okay. See, and people come here because it's so pretty. And you didn't really get to see a lot of the town that we live in, but you saw enough to know that it's, oh, thank you, that it's, you know, very urban. So the water here really provides a lovely respite for people. And a lot of people come here to fish. See, we have a fish cleaning station here. There's a hose in the summer. And we have a lighthouse out that way. And I think out in the distance is a tanker. It's beyond the other ship that I'm not really sure what it is.